Hello everyone and welcome back to another storytime video. Before I get into the story today, I just want to apologize for how bad this gameplay is. Yes, I did record it, but I haven't played this game since 2021 before I recorded this background footage, and so it had been 2 years since I played the first half, and an hour and a year and a half since I played the back half. But I have completed Doom Eternal 3 times between when I last played this game and when I played this game for this video. But the Storytime video 2 weeks from today, on May 12th, will have better recorded gameplay of this game where I do finish off the game. I didn't record the actual end because I got a bit of Vega Core in the level before that to where it was pretty satisfactory. I mean, I recorded an hour of gameplay or 45 minutes or whatnot, so but with that out of the way, I am going to talk about the other 2 times I worked at a Mexican restaurant for Cinco de Mayo. Now, of course, Cinco de Mayo is coming up here next Friday, as a matter of fact. And so, the past 2 years, in 2021 and 2022, when I was back in school, my former boss, my ex-boss, asked me if I wanted to work on Cinco de Mayo. And I did say yes, with the expectation and the promise that I would get a meal or two for free for working those few hours. And in 2021, it was extremely busy. I worked both nights as a busboy. I think I worked in 17 and 18, and then 21 and 22. I'm not going to this year. He has already... It was 3 months ago, back in early February, that he asked me if I wanted to. It's like, no, I am going to be working my actual job at that time, as I work second shift at my current job. And so it's like, no. Even if I wanted to, it's like, what am I going to tell my current job? No, I want to take less pay so that I can work one day for... It's like, no, it's just ridiculous. And he didn't exactly know that. But it's still like... It's to that extent where he tries to get a whole lot of people. I mean, I think I talked about it a couple of years ago, where when I was working there regularly back in high school, there were times where, on Cinco de Mayo, there would be people in there working that I'd never seen work there before, and that I never ever saw work there again. But my point is that it's probably people that he knows, that he trusts, of course, but it's basically an all hands on deck type deal, where if he can get the help, and then he's going to ask everybody that he can think of to help out. And I don't blame him at all, after working a couple, now 4 Cinco de Mayos. So 2019 is the last non ever since 2016, the only year where I haven't worked Cinco de Mayo where it hasn't been COVID was 2019. And it will be this year where I'm not uh, I'm not gonna work this year, but at least at the Mexican restaurant, I might not even eat Mexican food next week. I know the temptation's there, and when I think about it, sure. Typically on Cinco de Mayo, people do eat some, but for the most part, and it was very apparent 2 years ago, even more so than last year. But people just drink. People love to drink on that day, and with it being a Friday this year, uh, I'm pretty sure that people will be drinking like crazy on Cinco de Mayo. I remember in the one of the Cinco de Mayos I worked was a Friday, the very first one, and I thought that a lot of alcohol was consumed that night. No. 2 years ago, even more alcohol was consumed. And I just, yeah, I thought that couldn't even drink any more alcohol, or at least the people there couldn't drink any more alcohol. But uh, apparently they proved me wrong last year because yeah, as a busboy, I typically took the chips and salsa and the and cleaned the tables and took stuff off the tables. And so I always have to take the alcohol glasses off the tables and stuff. They had those big serving trays that restaurants can use to be able to serve like parties and stuff, where it's like, oh, we need to get a whole bunch of stuff out to this table quickly. You guys know about that, right? If you do, then I basically had trays and trays of alcohol glasses, and it was just incredible. I kind of thought that we might run out of alcohol at some point. It's like, geez, did people not? It's like, well, I guess people weren't able to drink during COVID, so they went, let's drink now. Because, but, but yeah, I think I said it in my Cinco de Mayo video before, but Mexico's Independence Day is in September, and I believe it's in mid-September. So Cinco de Mayo is not is nothing special in Mexico. It's just an excuse for white people to drink. That's really what it is when it all comes down to it. But Mexican restaurants don't mind because they make a whole bunch of profit. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot that I can talk about that I didn't mention the last time I talked about working Cinco de Mayo. Basically, long hours. People drink all the time. Occasionally eat, and it's just not that great. Yeah, I think I worked Cinco de Mayo all 4 times as a busboy. If I worked as a dishwasher, it was the second time, but I don't quite remember. I think I was a busboy because I was still in high school, and typically when it was not summer break, I was a busboy because it was tougher for me to come in during the week. And he knew that, and he needed someone to reliably come in during the week instead of, oh, we'll probably come in during the week. Because it's like, sure, working when you're going to school is great, but when one's got to be sacrificed a little bit, it's always work. Because work in the short term might be a little bit better, but definitely in long term, school. And I will always praise school as something that people should do if they can do it. And, but yeah, this has just been kind of a rambling video. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, you didn't actually talk about it. Well, why don't you go tell a Mexican restaurant this coming week that you want to work Friday and see how they respond, and then and see what they say, because I'm pretty sure they would say yes if they know and they trust you a little bit. But yeah, so that'll pretty much do it for me today. And so yes, guys, I do believe that will do it for this storytime video. And until next storytime video, I will see you later. Goodbye, guys! Thank you all for watching, and